good.
Look at that. Hey, welcome,
Good
welcome.
morning.
Good morning. Welcome to our coffee and a chat today. We've got three. What just happened
I
there?
don't know.
I don't know.
I think we're good.
I think we're okay. We had a little bit of technical. So, three things we're going to chat about today.
Yes.
So first of all, I can't believe open houses are right around the
I
corner.
know, it's August.
Woo. So August 31st, open houses are scheduled from 5 to 7 in both buildings, at both sites. The elementary, just as a reminder, last year and the year before, actually, I think it was the first time they did it, and the district received really positive feedback. But there's like individual conferences scheduled in 15-minute segments. So just a reminder, elementary parents to pick those, schedule your time on either 5 to 7 on the 31st, or elementary, your kiddos are not in school on Tuesday the 6th. That's the other day for scheduling the 15-minute conferences. But secondary, 5 to 7, come on in.
Do they have to be scheduled times?
Not at the secondary,
Okay.
but at the elementary, yes.
Okay.
Yep. We'll have lunch information. Just as a reminder too, lunches, we are paid lunches this year, so there are no longer the free lunches. So that's going to be something, parents, that you're going to hear us saying, hey, remember to put money in lunch accounts. So we'll have those tables set up at the elementary and the secondary, just so that that can be taken care of, because I know that's different this year.
Speaking of, will the free and reduced forms be at open houses?
Yes,
Okay.
the free and reduced forms, and we are asking all parents to fill that out regardless of whether you think you need it or not. So the free and reduced forms do two things. One, it does help to determine if a family is eligible for either a reduced fee or a free fee, a free lunch. But that is a way that the district generates revenue, and so I think sometimes families aren't aware that we ask for that information for a multitude of reasons. So there are going to be tables in the forms at both of the sites. Yep, for sure.
Do they turn it in?
So the forms can be turned in. We've got kind of a I understand that sometimes, so the free and reduced forms have like information about income, and that it's pretty sensitive, and there's only one person in the district that processes that information. So when those are folded, those come in. A lot of times we get them in an envelope and we just pass it along, and we don't open them, and they just get processed. So just know that in both sites we'll have a place that those are placed, so that that information isn't just kind of sitting out there. Yep. So that's coming up. The other thing is that elementary teachers have been posted in the Infinite Campus parent portal.
The class list?
The teachers for all of the elementary kids whose class your child is in. If you have trouble getting into the parent portal on Infinite Campus, you can reach out to Ashley King. She's been doing a great job just fielding, especially for some of our new families and for our new kindergarten kiddos. Yes. So those little junior bulldogs are getting into the system. So here we are. So that's kind of the open house game, what's coming up here at the end of August, which is just crazy. The other thing I wanted to talk just a little bit about is like the physical updates at the elementary. The project is progressing, and the classrooms are coming together. We've got all the indoor air quality unit, or all I'm just having a moment. The air handlers, the univents are all placed in the classrooms, and everything is being set around, and so it's just coming together, and things are progressing really nicely. So we're super excited about that. At the board meeting on Tuesday, I'm expecting to be able to communicate out the full time frame for teachers to get in, and I know that that's just that'll be a welcome bit of information. So hold tight, because that's coming. So that's super exciting. So the other thing that I think we need to talk just a little bit about, and I'm hearing some rumblings, some questions, so I want to clarify some information about our election in the fall.
Yeah.
So this week, filing open for school board members. So if somebody is interested in being a school board candidate, they can come into the district office. Those candidacy filings will be on the ballot, so that's gonna be one portion of our ballot in the fall. And then the second portion of our ballot is gonna be our operating referendum. So I've had a couple people ask me about, information that they read that our question and the dollar amount that we're asking for is going to be indexed for inflation. That's not true. So I wanted to just clarify two pieces. So I grabbed a little visual here. So we are gonna have two questions in regards to the referendum. The first one is we are gonna be asking for approval of $460 per pupil, okay? So last fall, we asked for $531 and it did not pass. So we sent out the survey this spring to find out, why, and was there a different and what the board determined was to adjust the per pupil dollar amount. So that there's the first question is, will you approve $460 per pupil? Then here's the second question. And the second question is only an option if number one passes. And that would be if question number one passes, can that $460 per pupil be indexed to inflation? So there's a couple of big things in here that I know we've got to kind of talk about, because I want to make sure that people have an opportunity to know what that means. So in one of our next sessions and next coffee talks, I'm going to just do a little bit more information about, okay, so how much, what do each of those things mean? So like for $460 per pupil, what does that mean for me and my taxes? So we're going to talk a little bit about that coming up.
The $460 isn't on your taxes. That's based on your home value.
So that's going to be per pupil.
Yep.
That is based on your home value. Yep. And so then that differentiates. If I have a $175,000 home, I've got $1 amount. If I have a $500,000 home, I have a different dollar amount. So we're going to talk about that, and I'll show the little chart, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. But the thing I wanted to make sure people heard today is that it is not the way that our questions are going to come forward. They're two separate questions, and so we're not making an assumption that if the dollar amount of 460 passes, it's going to be indexed. So we're going to talk about that in the future, because then I'll be able to answer some questions that as I hear things come in through the community, and I hear people ask me questions, this is a good time to know, like, I need to clarify this information. So more information is going to be coming. But today, I just wanted people to know there are going to be, besides our school board election, there's going to be two questions on the ballot about our operating referendum. So, yeah.
School board election goes through filing through August 16th.
Yes. Yep. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah. And then the other piece, just to remember, is that if you want to do an absentee ballot, you're going to, so this is a general election, so you will do that where you would normally do your voting. So there's no absentee stuff does not run through the district office this year. So it's a little bit different. So should we see, are there any questions?
Yeah.
Let's just do a quick check. Have the active little pause. So we talked about our open houses on the 31st from 5 to 7. Elementary families, pick your 15-minute time slots, either the evening of the 31st or the 6th, Tuesday the 6th.
Perfect. We do have one question.
Okay.
Do we have any busing information?
Yes, so busing information in newsletters this week is going to be coming out, the form where you will submit any questions and kind of your details. So that'll be coming out in the forms this week, in newsletters from both elementary and secondary administrators. So yes, it's coming out, and then it'll also be posted on social media. So you'll be able to check here, and you'll be able to pick up a QR code and fill out the form for busing information. So yes, thank you for that question. That's a good one.
Yep.
All right.
That was the only question we had.
Okay, awesome. Everybody have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time for another coffee and a chat.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Bye.